Now, I want to say that when it comes to elective positions, it's usually not an easy task for women, because from the time you just announce that you want to vie for an elective position, you find many issues coming up, especially from the male counterparts. If they are vying for the same position, things will not be easy. You will also find that if you want to do an activity on the ground, your opponents will send people to disrupt the activities. Your opponents will use all means to ensure that you are not visible. So gender-based violence is actually there even in politics, and sometimes even women who have decided that they want to vie, they also have issues with their spouses. You find, for example, if you are in a different party and your husband is also in a different party, it will now bring an issue in the homestead where you are not seeing eye to eye, and sometimes if you are not careful, this can also break family. And apart from even your spouses, sometimes you'll even find your opponents you wooing your children and using them to support them. Like, for example, when Honorable Murunga passed on, I remember that case was very clear, where the children were actually wooed by opponents to be against their mother, who was also vying for that position. So gender-based violence is in many different forms when it comes to, elective positions. And sometimes you'll even find people abusing you just from nowhere. You see, I can give an example of myself. When I announced that I want to vie for, an elective position, my opponent would even send people to abuse me. Sometimes you just hear, ni yule mama kiwete anataka hii kiti. It is not really easy in terms of physical, in terms of words. Sometimes your opponents may not even care that you have a family, you have also people close to you, and they're reading what they're saying, they're watching what is happening. So gender-based violence is there. But even though gender-based violence is there, there's need for the government to ensure that all machinery is put in place to protect especially the women who want elective positions. Because, Ben, you remember very well that the issue of two-thirds gender rule has been there over and again.
Yes.
And it is an issue that even Maraga brought on board, the Chief Justice Maraga brought on board, and it was thorny. It was even almost breaking the whole parliament. But I want to say that come 2022, there's need for all political parties to ensure that they implement the two-thirds gender rule. And even when it comes to aspirants, political aspirants, the flag bearers for different parties must look for mechanisms of ensuring the two-thirds gender rule is observed.